You know the next big fucking thing, of course, obviously the next atomic bomb, what that is?
Psilocybin.
It's the next one. It's going to do this. It's going to have the same kind of impact.
Something about that drug, which I don't do anymore because it's illegal when I was a crazy kid. When I think back to it, it's like the first time I did it with a human, it tricked my brain.
Whatever the fucking thing it is, man, everybody has this aspect of themselves that they're really unhappy with.
But with psychedelics, people think, this is the answer. This is the answer. This is it. This is what we need. And it's like, well, it's part of your psychedelic life. You can become like, if you're not careful, ridiculous and irresponsible.
This is the, what do you identify with?
And you start throwing out there this like idea that is not only fundamentally wrong, it's fundamentally wrong in everything.
What if you get really honest about the parts of yourself you're unhappy about, then you will be excited to learn that you've been being attacked by those aspects of yourself in the form of everyone you think's an asshole. If you stop and think really hard about yourself, you'll discover that you are guilty of those very same crimes generally. And if you weren't, you wouldn't even notice it.
You seem to be kind of a selfish cunt.
I have not seen that.
You're walking down the street, looking at your phone like, holy fuck, he said that? I'm writing a fucking blog about that.
For a little while.
It's not time for you necessarily, even though your aspiration to rebalance a democracy is beautiful and we all want that. You're fucking neglecting one of your best friends. Guess who's fucking calling? Your dad. When was the last time you talked to your dad? 3 months ago.
Well, but
call your fucking dad back. The whole time you're like, I got to try.
I don't think that we need to feel ashamed of where we're at right now.
Is there a way for me to release that energy in other ways, or is the only way, the only valve on that to come? That's a question. What do you think?
I think it's more like just acknowledge that we seem to be part of the tidal flow of nature and that nature doesn't give a shit about the individual.
Whoa, dude.
If you think you are an individual and you've gotten confused and you think that you're a person or permanently a person, then you're in for a big bowl of suffering.
Nope.
But it's just like this, man. If you want to dig your heels in and sink your claws into the expanding universe and try to keep that fucking thing from expanding, you're going to get ripped apart. And that's part of this dimension. We're all wearing these funny costumes, especially now. But fuck, man, if I walk around in this ridiculous getup that I'm in right now in the right place, people are going to come up to me and be like, Father, I'm having a problem in my life.
When I look at that, I think it's interesting too, because when you consider like the act of shitting versus the act of jerking off is like,
it's so cool. So it's like demons, you know, like it's,
I don't know, man, like what would be like the creature version of a rolled up ball of dried cum that you've thrown next to your bed and someone walks into your bedroom and sees the rolled up ball of dried cum Kleenex and it's just kind of like, that's gross, you didn't clean up your cum Kleenex.
And that's what our personalities keep us from experiencing.
That's definitely something that like in my old age I want to put in like italics and underline that we are all God and drag. I could come up with a way better like thing than a dragon to represent it.
What do you want to get inside of? What do you want to possess?
Well, like I think that you know what something I always think back on is when you were sponsored by Fleshlight, and now we can start having compassion for ourselves. Instead of thinking I'm a selfish cunt, we could think, oh, I've got too big a force field up. I've developed a thing to protect me from an environment that I'm no longer in.
Or at a costume party.
Theoretically.
Pretty soon, man, we're going to have to deal with this brand new being existing on this universe.
For sure. But
you're trying to go from the entanglement with your personality to recognizing that you're observing yourself in the same way you observe a pen.
I sure get really angry all the time.
What do you want to possess? You want to possess a fucking 18-year-old girl who's gonna like and thrash around in the bed and throw your diarrhea at the priest and like claw your own eyeballs out.
When someone says something like that, it's so terribly, absolutely, impossibly wrong from my reality tunnel.
What you're talking about here, that's gonna be, if I'm a demon, that's the bullseye for me.
You want to talk about shooting the fucking messenger, man.
Listen, all of this is already chewed up. It's already been devoured. It's already gone. Game over. You're done.
I don't know, man. That to me sounds a little bit like...
I mean, all that stuff to me is...
And it's like, well, yeah, the reason you're being a selfish, quote, cunt is because you had to build up a very high-powered defense mechanism to deal with the fact that you were abused for almost a decade when your brain was forming more neurons than it ever will at any other point in its life.
At some point, I will come to you wearing the costume of your death. Because you're gonna die. Everyone you know is gonna die.
This is exactly the fucking problem. That thing that you've got right now, when you begin to really look at it and think about it, what am I not doing? I don't know what it is yet, but I guarantee there's something that I could do.
What the fuck did you expect yourself to do? Like, you're temporarily existing in a dimension that is actively destroying you in every single moment. You're not going to be perfect. Give yourself a break.
That's when you run into the person who's being a selfish cunt, who you can look at and say, oh, I see you.
And that's what you truly are. And that is known as the thing that you can't look at. That's the thing that can't see itself. It only gazes out. It's also known as the watcher or the witness.
I know from looking into myself enough to know that you deserve more compassion than you're getting. That's it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. You're so fucking cool. I just realized how cool you are. I realized, like, I'm sitting talking to a guy and then
we have cool jobs, dude. So, like, the question would be rather, is there a way to release that energy that isn't through the tip of my dick in the form of DNA? Oh, shit, I'm back. Oh, I'm here. I was totally up in my head. Oh, I'm back. That was thinking.
I think we are love.